forever.
YouTube, what's going on? Today we are going to talk about the updates that need to happen before patch 2.4 comes out. There's still a lot of stuff that is, I don't want to say broken, but needs attention. And we're just going to list them all off right now, and hopefully some, if not all of these, make it to whoever matters. But let's get into it right away. If you have other things I might have missed, make sure you put them in the comments down below. And as always, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the updates we do with Diablo 2 Resurrected. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's go talk about what I can try to recreate. Maybe not everything I might not be able to recreate, but the first thing is frozen armor, all the armors, right? I don't know if you've ever been teleporting, and I'll try to get a clip of it. Maybe I clipped it before, but sometimes there'll just be this huge, like, your frozen armor will just spaz across the whole screen. It was happening with the druid summons, something similar. But it still happens with frozen armor. Not the biggest deal in the world, but also not pleasant as well. I mean, it's just not supposed to happen. I'm trying to get an example of something else, but I need a big loot drop. So let's see if we can find it in here. This. You see how this is moving like that? When we move and it spazzes out? That is stupid. It happens more often with other things, but this never happened in old D2. It doesn't happen in any other ARPG game. I don't know why it happens. The 365 goal, that's the one that's spazzing out, right? Why? Why is that not fixed? I mean, that happened on day one. I was like, wow, that's really annoying, but I'm sure they will fix it. And it's been, what, 4 months-ish? Hasn't been fixed. Let's talk about the next thing. Off-platform drops. If I kill them on the platform, they drop their loot. But if they happen to be coming off the platform, they drop nothing. How hard is it to make their drops just go to where my feet can be? Right? Every other game can do that. Why not this one? That seems... I mean, it's 2022. That should not be an issue at this point in video game lifespan, right? Like it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. Next, let's go over something that's been bugging me since day one of D2, even old D2. Let me just kill these real quick. All right. Why? 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 Why is this a thing? You know, that went well, actually clicking it, but sometimes you can click on this thing 100 times and you just got to get in that right, what's usually like right here, that sweet spot. Why is seal popping weird like that? Like, why can't we just make it so if you click on it, it pops the seal, right? You know? And it's that seal's usually the worst one. The other ones usually don't have an issue. Like this one, I can just stand wherever, you know? I can be all the way over here. Boom, popped it. Boom, popped it. Why was that one have such issues? Why can't that be fixed? At least tell us why, right? At least communicate with your fan base and the players that pay for games. Like, tell them why. Hey, we can't figure it out. Cool, got it. You know, I don't know. It's been 20 years to figure it out. And we're getting into more of that later, but that's another one. All right. Let's do another example. Let's join a game. Let's see. HTHD. Let's say somebody says, join my game to do a trade. HTHD. And I say, cool, let's do it. Oops, it was hell, and I'm on a normal character? Well, I should just simply get an error message that says, hey, you can't do that. But you know what I get instead? I get a black screen of death that I can Alt F4, and no matter, it's gonna take me 5 minutes. Does it fix itself? No, it doesn't fix itself. You can't Alt F4. You gotta task manager that shit because we're gonna be waiting a while. I understand it's user error, right? It's my fault. All right, what's next? Let's move on to the main part we play Diablo 2 is to play online and to hang out with people. right? Let's go ahead and, oh no, I clicked on one game now. So now it's going to take, I can't see any of these settings or any of the players. I can't see any of that stuff. Why not? Even old Diablo 2 was able to at least let me do this part where I can at least see a lot of stuff, right? Remember, people would make they couldn't fit whatever they were doing in the game name, so it would say C script, and the whole script would have more characters it would allow, so you'd be looking in here. You can't do that anymore because you can't click on games and see what's going on with them. Also, well, hey, you know what we can do? We'll just hit this refresh button. Why even put it there? Just get rid of it if it doesn't work. What's the point? Why doesn't it refresh? Does it? I just refresh. What am I refreshing? My sanity? It's just no good. It's just no good. You know? And so, and to be honest, that whole system needs to be reworked anyways. But I like it. I like you make a game name and people join. I love that. That's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things about Diablo 2. But not being able to see how many players are in a game or how old it is. Like, what if I want to join a cow game? I don't want to join a 27-minute cow game. So I need to see how long these games have been open so that I know what I'm doing here. And that kind of puts me in a tangent to why doesn't console have this? I mean, console, they have keyboards, they have, you know, they can type in stuff on their things. It's just as annoying as moving an item in your inventory with the controller as it is to type stuff in. So why not just let them do it? Because they can't play with anybody. They can't do bail runs on console. I mean, you know, this is a 20-year-old game. And they took a game that was made in 2000, put it out for console, and made it worse. Because there's no playability with other players. They need this. You know, they need it. We'll move on. All right, so at this point, I can't recreate the other stuff. And some of it's quality of life stuff, but we have the attacks, the faster hit recovery, next hit always misses. I think they did make a comment on that. What it is, if you get put into faster hit recovery, your character does the thing, right? If you're melee, the next attack you do misses every time, no matter what. Don't like that. Doesn't need to be a thing. You know, get rid of it, right? Melee classes in general need help. They need a lot of help. They need whatever they can get. And, you know, the attack speed not having a cap. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there was no attack speed cap at the beginning of D2R. They did patch it and make it back to normal, what it was in old D2. But, I mean, get rid of it again. Give Melee something good for once, right? Like, they need something. They had a fix for it, and they got rid of it. And then there's still disconnecting deaths. There's still loading screen deaths. If you smite is supposed to be uninterruptible. When I'm doing Ubers, I get interrupted all the time. They just attack me and I stop smiting and I say ow, right? Or whatever. You're not supposed to have it's supposed to be uninterruptible. And I assume other skills work like that as well. But for me, smite's a big one because that's what I, you know, kill Ubers with, and I do it a lot. Let's talk about the chat bug. You know, this still happens. There's no rhyme or reason for it, where you just can't talk in chat. You can't read chat in a game. And sometimes you can restart the game, it'll fix it, but sometimes it doesn't. It just randomly, you get the bug and randomly it goes away. What's going on with that? Fix that. Like, this is chatting in an online game is kind of like important, right? You know, I mean, if WoW, you couldn't chat, I'm sure people would be mad, right? Fix it. Mana Burn's been broken, and they said it was a broken glitch in the game back in 2007, and it's still broken. Just fix it. I mean, quality of life. I hate that every time I play a character, you know, they end up being at the top. Like, can we keep these static so that I can have an idea of where my characters are when I want to play them? I don't have to read 20 lines to find out who's who. Why isn't there an option for that? Or at least maybe put a star. I can make some favorites, you know what I mean? And they'll stay at the top, something like that. I mean, there just needs to be more quality of life here. Character slots, more character slots. We all want that. Stash tabs, right? We all want that. We pay money for it. I mean, get your money for doing this work. Make the stash tabs, put in the effort, pay the people to do it. We'll pay. We want stash tabs. Like, we'll pay money. We're fine with that. Things like stacking runes and gems on top of each other. It should be possible. All right, there's let me first say that since 1.14D, now we can pause this right here, and I'm gonna look up when did 1.14D come out. LOD 1.14D release date 2016. So a lot of people want to make an argument that, oh, this game, you know, wants to stick to its values, or I want it to be like it was and get that old feel to it, you know, and I get that. But that's not an excuse to praise a game that has 0 updates, 0 improvements, 0 development since June of 2016. And all that did was, all 1.4D did was try to get rid of hacks and bots, which it did temporarily. But it's not an excuse for us to not have, it's not an excuse for things to not move forward, right? Now you see games like the Path of Diablo, Project Diablo 2, the ones that still use the old skin of Diablo, and they are modded versions of the game. These guys have figured it out. They have the stacking runes. They have corruptible items that keep the value, that make items hold their value with the corruption system. They have extra stash tabs, bigger stashes, a thing for your charms and a thing for your inventory. And I understand that some of that stuff is big changes from what we're used to, but you can't defend what we're used to for the fact that it's just been the same for 20 years because nobody's been there. There's nobody to update it. They've all been fired. There's nobody working on the game. That's not an excuse for a game staying the same. You know what I mean? So it needs to be evolved into what PD2 is or POD is. It needs to grow because, you know, this type of game could last forever and you can get money out of it with these stash tab things. And these guys have already figured it out. The ones that made these mods, these modded versions of the game, they know how to do it. They did it. So it's possible. We know it's possible. So either get somebody who's paid to do it, or fucking hire these guys because they did it for free. Just hire them. Just say, hey, you're a part of Blizzard now. Y'all did this for free. Guess what? We'll just pay you now. We'll pay you what we're paying these guys because they're not doing it, right? Whatever. I mean, anyways, long story short, that's all I got. If you can think of something I missed, make sure you put it in the comments down below. I would love to read it because I would love to know what I missed. Also, if you like videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be really awesome. I appreciate it. I can't wait for ladder. I love this game. And that's all this is. Me loving this game. Everybody loves this game. And we just want it to evolve the way a 2022 game should. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll see you in hell. See you in ladder. Peace, peace.